Howdy, folks. Welcome to Adventures in Alberon. That is not what it is today. We're in Mosaic Team 5, our original Starfinder campaign. I am Joe Treff, your GM this evening and most, and joining me are my friends Kara, Dan, Olive, and Ari. Matt is not with us today. Matt is doing wedding-related things, as Matt always is, but we'll be back with us next week.
I'm over here today.
Kara's over here today.
It's weird.
And you know, it's just it's the Android seat.
Oh my god.
We could have a dance party over here.
Could you do me a favor? Could you adjust that camera a little bit so that Dan's on it? And yeah, we're gonna play Starfinder tonight. But before we do, a couple of quick announcements. Perfect.
Hold on,
No, we got no Kara. Oh, no, we got no nobody.
Stop moving! You make it hard.
We got no one.
Anyways, I got.
I feel like I went back to the original place. I went all the way around, and now we're back to the original spot.
We're gonna play Starfinder tonight. But before we do, a couple of quick announcements.
Would you say that we started from the top and now we're here?
I think we're somewhere. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, that's
Thanks.
nice.
Yeah,
I needed a deft hand.
It's tough. There's a lot of traffic today, so it was all right. Starfinder. Before we do a couple quick announcements, we have a YouTube at Alberon RPG where we have the sessions from the previous week re-air on Sunday. The Starfinder one is at 12, followed by our original D&D campaign, which we're playing tomorrow night at 7. At 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That was a terrible way to introduce that. So you just kind of dig through the numbers, figure out when it happens. The audio should be a little different tonight. I'm hoping it's a little louder. I've been playing around with some of the filters that we have to try to get a little bit more volume out of the setup that we have, because it's a pretty advanced setup. So please let me know if it is too loud or distorted or anything like that.
We all just talk like 5% louder, and it's really confusing.
Everybody just screams.
Everyone just talks like this tonight!
This is the screaming episode. We have an Instagram, at Alberon RPG. There's more in-depth photos of the different things that pop up on our table, like... you can see a character sheet for probably the best character in an upcoming game that is called Iron and Thorn. It is something that is run by Kara, a Cypher System game in the old gods of Appalachia setting. Appalachia?
Appalachia.
Appalachia. That's never mind. Whatever it's pronounced like, that is the setting that we're using. It's been highly modified to be 1920s Western Massachusetts in a fictional town called Eastbridge. We are playing the finale for that this Sunday. It doesn't really matter for you because you won't see it. It's not live, but it's going to re-air when we are on vacation, which is beginning, I want to say, our last session is July 19th or 20th, whichever the Friday is, and then we're going to be off for 2 weeks. And for those 2 weeks, you're going to see Iron and Thorns run by Kara in that place. And then tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Courts of Everest, our original D&D campaign. That is all the announcements that I have in a very confusing order. And now it's time for this week's session of Mosaic Team 5.
Ciao.
Put it up the
Mosaic Team 5. that's the best one. Last we played. Oh, let me change our... Well, actually, I think this suits our vibe a little bit here. Last we played, you roared into combat amongst the 40-mile tall mountains of magnetic ore that characterize the surface of the moon of Zin, casting many of the canyons below into shadow. The starting zone, meant to loop around a figure-eight-like range of mountains, became a killing field, And though the central portion of the track was also used, much of the action took place in close quarters combat here. Gibbs, you anchored the team. You daredevil flew through whirring clouds of debris at absurd velocities while blasting away from off angles before eventually becoming wrecked. Spice, you were also completely wrecked, but an insanely difficult high-stakes maneuver allowed you and Shade to switch ships mid-flight as Shade passed over top to put Spice back in flight and allow Shade to get the broken ship functional, if not particularly useful. While the fight was close and at a time seemed to swing heavily against you, the Neon Wraiths eventually emerged victorious by disabling 4 of 5 of the enemy craft. Echo, off in a distant dogfight with the 5th member, was unable to disable the final craft, but did not suffer a significant amount of damage. We'll get there in a little bit. But as everything switches over from combat to passive mode, and your friend or foe indicators run green, that is where we begin this evening. Give me 1 second here. Okay. For all of you who are looking at communicators or signals or computers of any kind, there is little bleeps that come up, and you can see there are new ships that are approaching the general zone. You can see one of them called Godfrey's Garage Repair Ship,
Nice.
closing the distance, leading behind it a smaller tugboat of sorts that reads GG Autonomous Tug 2. And these are vectored to approach Gibbs, your ship primarily, also towards the one that Shade is currently occupying, as those seem to be in the worst shape. But is there anything that you're all doing right now as things are kind of coming to an end from that battle?
I'm sorry I wasn't very present. Congratulations on the victory.
You helped. Thanks for keeping that guy busy. He looked speedy.
We won?
We did.
Guys, we won, but barely. Look at all our ships. They're all destroyed. How are we gonna fix this?
Oh, Shade will get it.
Well, and also Godfrey's gonna help, right? Probably for a cost, but well, we can get back to the garage and
thing.
assess the damage.
Yeah, but we only have a day. I mean, I'm sure Shade and...
And Echo, actually, your communicator begins to ring. It's Godfrey. You can see the Ishtangi shows up. The sort of glass-like scales underneath their skin flashes a number of different green colors, and then they stabilize, and you can see this gecko-like creature. And he nods and goes, hello, MRS unit. Just wanted to congratulate you, but inquiring, you have any help? Your ships, pardon my Castervillian, were shot to shit. And even with my skills, this will take a little bit longer than a few hours to turn around.
One of our team is a proficient mechanic. They should be able to help you for at least 24 hours.
You can see he nods a little bit when he says, did you hear about the other team? You guys are going to be facing the Vesk.
Gross.
I look forward to the challenge.
He nods and he says, I mean, you're probably not interested because you guys are so good. You're still technically underdogs, but barely. And just, you know, if you were interested in learning more about these people, I'm sure we could make a deal. But I'm sure you're fine.
I'm sure I am.
Okay, Godfrey out, and communication goes dead.
What did he say?
He will require assistance.
I'm handy with a screwdriver too.
True. But perhaps only one of us should go, and Shade has the most experience with the ships.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What are we gonna do? We got a day. Should we go spy on the competition?
Probably for the best.
I'm sure you want to celebrate.
What? Me never. Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
So it's like doing makeup.
What if we went somewhere that wasn't Eco Breaker?
I just need to pick up my winnings.
Okay, and then ice cream's on you.
Yes. I guess it is.
Yay!
So Olive and I just ate so much ice
I
cream.
know.
You said that, and I was like, oh man, I don't know.
Could have
Real
picked a
life all
different
of us
food, but it
hesitating.
was primed.
Yes, I can buy us an individual ice cream cakes for each one.
Yay!
What is an ice cream cake?
Oh, hun, you're gonna love it. Maybe, probably. Actually, you won't like it.
Do you like cold food?
If it is appropriate.
It's usually dairy. Are you familiar with the term crunchies?
What are crunchies?
They're TBD, depends on who you ask, actually. There's a huge controversy about it.
About the crunchies?
Yes.
Controversy?
Yes, there is.
I understand all of these words separately.
I had a cousin who used to just like take nuts and bolts and just chew on them, but I think that was more of a disorder and less of a like a.
Scraps had pica, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh man, that'd probably mess up your teeth.
Yeah,
I
but
wouldn't
then
have
he
good
would just
teeth
take.
like mine.
And then Bubba's gonna smile. You can see like blood all over his gums.
What's wrong with your gums?
What do you mean?
They're bleeding.
That's how they're supposed to look when you clean them really neat.
Oh my god, did you floss while you were attacking people?
Babe, I take flossing very seriously.
Is that why all your
do
dental
flossing, and I have
things vibrate?
Oh my gosh.
they vibrate because that's how cleaning works, Gibbs. You have to like be able to like sonically vibrate the dirt. Have you seen the I can show you the commercial.
Bubba's is gonna pull out his comms and like show him like an infomercial of like scrubbing bubbles and like
Sorkening.
vibration.
So you kind of like link into formation. You begin to fly off. Gibbs, are you just kind of staying behind and getting towed back, or is somebody? What are you doing about Gibbs?
Sorkening with the Godfrey ship to like
Gotcha.
follow to the repair section, and then
Then we'll carpool elsewhere.
No worries.
Only one toe, Gibbs, right? Yeah.
No, shade too.
Shade ship works for the next
Yeah.
10 minutes, then it's going to break down, and realistically, it can limp over there, but it makes more sense to tug it, and that's why they have this autonomous tug as well. So they can do all the actual tugging, but you guys are staying together. You make your way back towards the ship, no problem. Give me 1 second here.
Is the other team's getting towed?
No, they headed back as much as they could. There's still 2 ships that are left. You can make a perception check, Gibbs.
Cool.
Oh, first roll of the night!
Nat 20.
Nat
Nice.
20.
Yeah.
You can see
Plus
that
a
they're.
million.
1 second here. I
Wow,
just
nice.
stopped the music and I
Did
gotta
good.
start something.
Bubbles, perhaps we would fly better if we were not flossing whilst we were mid-combat.
Well, I was just trying to show Gibbs how to do it properly. I mean, like, it's important because, 4 out of 5 dentists recommend brushing and using flossing, and I think the 5th dentist was a Yusoki, because you know what? I've seen Yusoki's teeth, and they're not good.
Well, I think it's a biological problem that you have so little space between your teeth. You have to use thread to do it. I have so much space, I could pass a can of Coke between them. And it really is, like, gives it her front teeth and then, like, the canines in the back, but, like, there is a, like,
Gaps. of
yeah, like
gums.
huge gaps where it's like, yeah, flossing with
Was
threads
that
not
a
gonna...
natural 20?
Yeah.
I've noticed, like, sometimes when you talk, Gibbs, it sounds like you're whistling.
In the you zone out of that. And as you look at your scanners, you can see in the very distance on the periphery, there's a ship that wasn't reading. It's a capital ship. And so it's very large on the screen, but if you zoom out a little bit, it is the GPF troop transport. I troop my pants. It is a Sharan craft. And you can see there is a number of GPF, regulation GPF shuttles that are departing off in this direction, probably to serve as tugs. It would appear this group did not need to charter additional systems. They've called in this favor, and they currently have the forces of this ship at their disposal. And this is a capital ship. It's designed to carry troops. I would say with that check, you can see that their hangars are configured for like shuttles and things like that. So not fighter ships or things like that, but troops maybe supplies.
And can I glance in a cockpit? Do they seem, like, upset, or are they, like, cool with their loss?
You glance in the cockpit and you can see the sort of regulation, like rigid black GPF helmets. There's no like, you're just seeing like the glaze
Yeah.
over. But you can see they wave. There's no aggression. There's no signs of weapon systems. They don't like buzz by to make it uncomfortable or anything like that. There's things that they could do to make displeasure felt without even being overtly aggressive. None of that happens. They just head off and they don't try to intercept you or anything. They certainly go for this captain ship first. And that seems to be their priority. And as you're like almost back at the ship, you see they start to work on the other ones as well.
One of them is dead. One of the Revengers is dead. Is Shabito
retreating back to the capital ship?
Their life support is down. They're not dead.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But Shabito in the Soul Drinker, the craft is disabled, is being towed back.
Okay.
So you make your way back. Here. When you return, there is a large amount of celebration that is occurring. The few folks that did bet on you certainly collected money as underdogs. And so as you arrive, you can see that there are screens that are displaying highlights from your sort of thing all around. And Gibbs, with your natural 20, you see very clearly one of the ones that is being played a lot is you zipping through debris fields, shrapnel moving at thousands of miles around you. You're flying through mountains. There's like a slow motion clip where you as Trinket, like the camera is seeing you through the cockpit and you are pressed into the canopy as you're pulling like 5 Gs of force, like the whole cheek's pressed flat. Oh yeah, no, absolutely. And you level off right in front of an enemy at the end, and then the junk farts out the back, and it's like that is playing everywhere. You can see there is a maneuver that depicts Echo killing all power in their retro thrusters to flip and burn the craft so hard that you see actual smoke emerge. They seem to damage the craft in that part of the exchange, but they end up nose to nose and chain cannon one of the particle beams off their opponent's ship. You do see in the other kind of clips from that, Echo's engine never fully recovers from that particular incident. You see Bubbles tearing ahead at the start of the race, ducking small shelves of rocks before suddenly it is like just 3 much larger shapes converge around him. The angles of the cinematography really have this like very sinister vibe, and then he just gets shot apart. You can see there is the number one highlight, of course, is Shade and Spice doing this mid-space exchange in the midst of combat, explosions flying all around. That is almost certainly beyond just this sphere of influence going to be something that makes its way across the wider infosphere.
Do we all see that, or is that just Gibbs?
I would say just Gibbs sees that
But
in
look
its
at us!
detail, but Gibbs pointing it out, all of you would certainly see it.
Oh my god, I'm
Seeing
so
the maneuver with Shade and Spice, Shade's not really done something like that before.
Yeah.
Should Kara hold on to that, like, sense motive, like, wellness check until Shade is back, or can I do that?
Make like a passive sense motive check, and then Shade/Mac can fill in more on later.
Oh, what would be a passive sense motive?
So sense motive check, and then this is more just like as you're flying back, you're reflecting on the sort of things that you're seeing in front of you.
That's a 2 on the die. I don't
perfect.
get much.
Yeah, perfect. So without really being able to interface with Shade directly, hard to tell.
You gotta put your dongle in.
Guys, I think we should be really proud of ourselves. I don't know if I'm really gonna be super celebrating. I'm super celebrated out, but maybe just I think an easy low key night where we just try to do some info searching or something. I don't know. What are you guys' hopes of espionage here?
Well, what if we found out where they keep their ships and we put sugar in the gas cans?
That is not how the ships function.
What if we put dirt in their gas cans?
Again, they do not function on gas.
Is there any gravity?
That would be pretty gross, though.
Okay, what if we put it in their windshield wiper fluid?
Gibbs, all your suggestions have to do with dirt.
Who knows? It's what I
And
know.
systems that only work in the atmosphere.
What if we put it in their nitrous dongle dibble and just
Right in the dongle dibble.
You know what we
This
should
is a
do is we
family
should
stream.
cut their life support.
no?
Okay, just kidding, sort of.
Echo, you know a lot about ships. Isn't there some kind of modification that we could make if we happen to sabotage them that, would be easy and subtle?
Cut the brakes.
Cut their lock-on feature. That was fucking us up last time.
Why are we discussing sabotaging a separate team?
I don't
Why
know.
wouldn't we?
It seems as though this competition, aside from Hardcore Henry, is acted in good faith. Of course, until the actual competition starts.
But maybe no one was fucking with us because we weren't threats, and now we're either gonna get fucked with or we should fuck people.
Does that sound...
Make a sense motive.
Nice.
Remake your 2 sense motive check.
Hey! Natural 20.
I'd love to see it.
In the first round, you had those mines that had occurred. In this round, Shade had clued you in on there being some kind of a shielded craft. And as part of a natural 20, you think about that, you go back through the combat logs in your craft, and you bring up telemetry data that tells you a little bit more about that area. You didn't get super close to it, but now that you're coming back and you have the tug, you realize with Spice's data link now partially activated through Shade's Miracle Worker, you can pull a little bit from Shade's data logs, and Shade went much closer. And this was something that was sized as much larger than a fighter craft, something that is probably more in the order of like a destroyer. But a pretty sizable craft was ready to ambush you, and you never passed in a way in which would trigger passive sensors. There was no active scans or anything coming from it. Shade couldn't pick up any signals, and so it was very purposefully lying in wait. As a result, could likely not detect that you were there because nobody went right by it.
But these things are because we refused the offer to like
Correct.
throw it.
Yeah.
So it's not the other teams.
Correct.
Right.
But the
As
other team did.
No, please.
They did sabotage Shade. It was in the competition, so I get that you're pointing that like that might be different.
Oh, and
It
they
is
hacked
indeed
them.
different.
When they hacked him.
That is a part of their strategy.
So what if we go to the battlefield and we put something in the battlefield?
Again, that is not what they have done. They have used strategy from their ships to ours.
You also don't know where the battlefield is yet.
Oh, we don't? I
Also
can't look
Gives
it
you
up.
pull out your little flyer,
Yeah,
which has
yeah.
been updating each round, and you can see it will be you against the Vesk. But it does not have a location yet, and you remember tomorrow morning when you wake up, likely it will have that change, just like before.
The most useful espionage, as you so put it, would be to discover more about the Vesk strategy, to find out what arsenal they have and ways to combat it, and also what the Carbon Cartel might have on the field for us.
Yeah, that seems more like a low-gear option than putting sugar in their gas high drive tank. I don't know how ships fuel works.
The dingle dongle.
Neither of those were accurate.
Yeah.
It was a metaphor.
Of course.
Okay.
So I think maybe we should just focus on just, like Echo said, trying to gather information, and maybe we can just, I don't know.
Thankfully, I believe that Spice has business in the Vesk quarter.
Do I? Isn't that where your
Yeah.
that was?
I believe you have
We're
to
not
pick
sure.
up some money. Unless you bet against us.
I would never bet against us because we are obviously the winners. Yes, I do need to pick up my winnings.
From the shipyard of Sin.
That's it, thank you.
Maybe we could use some of that money to upgrade our ships. Maybe there's another mechanic we can hire or something.
I worry that with the repairs needed for our ship, we will not have time to upgrade them.
And also, what it lands in Spice's wallet is not often to come out in a collaboration.
I said I would buy you an ice cream cake.
Yeah, but like a cannon's more expensive than an ice cream cake.
Indeed, that was Spice's credits. That
Also-
Spice has decided to win.
I didn't get that many because I miraculously found 500 credits in my pocket. And it was not credits, it was hard cash. And so I had to bet all the hard cash, it wasn't credits.
Well, this is gonna look at Echo.
Because I didn't roll high enough to know, only you did.
Yep.
Yeah, I know.
So I bet, obviously, the god of gambling, because I know there is one, but was looking down on me and chose me that night.
Nice.
Yes.
But it was easy when you bet on us and we are destined to win.
Yes.
Let's go. Bye.
Okay, so Shipyard of Sin.
You return
Leon Delroy.
with no problem. to
Leon
your hangar.
Abaccio.
One of your ships, Gibbs's ship, is brought to the actual garage proper. It needs a lot of attention. The one that actually kind of reversed that. I would say probably Spice, yours is the one that needs the most attention. Gibbs, you can land in the regular kind of cockpit, and so Shade stays with Godfrey to make these repairs.
And this leak is intentional, so don't fix that one. And this stain is lucky, so don't clean that one out.
The Ishtangi gets very anxious very quickly, and he very quickly just goes, "No, I know what I'm doing. This is my job." All of his scales just to like paler versions of what they were before. But no problem. you make your way out, and you do need to walk through Warvok Shorn to get back to your hangar, so you can go there first if you want.
As we're circling to, are we gonna go to the Warvok Shorn? Are we decided?
So you're
Yeah,
in.
ship
So
us in.
yeah, you're in Warvok
Yes.
Shorn. You when you're at Godfrey's base. Well, you're on the spine, but you're right
Yeah.
adjacent to it. And you could either walk back that way before getting to your hangar, or you could either Gibbs is going to have to walk back alone, or I mean, what are you doing? We can say for sake of ease, if you want, you can all meet up like
Yeah.
midway, right in the middle of the Warvok
Gibbs
Shorn.
is small.
Yeah,
Yeah, can I just hop into somebody's glove box?
you can. Yeah, you can lap Gibbs up with somebody.
Nice.
Gibbs can share a space with an ally.
What I want to do is, as we're walking to the shipyard,
Okay, you
want
have
Shipyard
Gibbs.
of Shin.
I just want to do a perception check.
Make a perception check.
That's all.
The Shipyard of Shin is the
Oh, that's
knockoff
terrible.
across the street.
That's a 2 plus 13, 15.
Okay. So you go looking around, and as you're with your group, you can see these clips playing everywhere of your fight. There's a couple other different fights that have happened as well, and you can see, the Vesk fighting against these like really strange looking, but look almost like living wood ships that are in the shape of like squids and serpents. But you see them being blasted apart in these highlights. And then as you turn to look at the actual shipyard proper, you can see it has changed a little bit. There's different figures there. But then you see a huge, what looks like a grizzly bear just walk up to you, torn denim vest, and they just put like a hand right on your shoulder and they look at you. You can smell alcohol on their breath, and they.
Sorry, Bubs is approached by a bear near the Ego Breaker.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh.
torn venom.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he wasn't before, but now he's kind of greasy. Little glitter. But he looks you up and down, and he just says,
Hi.
Vedno Kachan. And he just walks right along.
Do I recognize that language?
You speak Vesk, right?
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. That's not him. And he just walks right along.
What was that about?
He said that's not him, and I think he's talking about, your Helicopter Johnny debut.
Spicy glimpse over the shoulder, hoping to catch a clip of Helicopter Johnny on his communicator. But you see, they're just like sending a text message. They're not. They're not like.
Rats. Yeah.
It's not Helicopter Johnny.
Make a perception check. You follow Spice's eyes.
15 plus 17 is 32.
Damn,
No plus 1 because I don't got my binoculars. Don't got no binoculars.
that would have made a big difference. So, without your binoculars, it's hard to tell. No, I'm kidding. You look over, and the text is relatively large. This is almost a comically large communicator. You're not familiar with the brand, but for this uplifted bear,
Right.
it has to have a huge, and it's mechanical keypad,
Yeah,
not like
nice.
like a text.
Blackberry, I get it.
It's old, but you can see very
bear.
big is the font.
It's a Blackberry.
And, yeah. You can see in very big font, reading the message, found a human, not the one you're looking for.
And who is the contact at the top?
You don't see a contact at the top, but you do see right above with that check a picture that was sent out, and almost certainly it is Helicopter Johnny in this picture.
Dang.
You can see like a little spinning thing. But this uplifted bear apparently rolled real low in his perception check. He just looked right at him, and with a roll of 2 on the dice, did
Must
not
have been
know
the
who it
other
was.
extremely tall, no-haired, birthmark person.
You know,
in the crowd.
they're everywhere.
All these humans look the same.
There's an element to that almost certainly for free that you get. But yeah,
As Bubs is like, kind of like embarrassed and perplexed by that, he's just gonna mother in his mouth, wordless. Miles.
No, they were looking for
No, I
Helicopter
said,
Johnny.
I said it wordless.
Oh.
It's like when you mouth something.
yeah.
Then my next language is going to be reading lips.
There you go.
Bubs is just gonna sit top like this now.
That's fine with me. Not dare you.
I mean,
You make your
canonically,
way.
you could wear masks and no one would like blink an eye at that.
Yeah, because
Over to the shipyard of Sin. And you make your way within. Now, having been here a few times, you don't need to talk to the bouncer or anything. By seeing you, they nod, and they actually seem to, like, almost warm is the wrong word, but they step aside, they welcome you in. It's not just that they allow you in. You're welcome inside.
It's the little, like,
Exactly.
The bouncer nod.
But as you walk in, you can see Keiko now wearing a much more like a closer to like a suit that is cut in sci-fi, if that makes any sense. You have like the really like kind of asymmetrical cut and like the, you know.
you want to sell us death sticks?
But they lean over and they wave to you, and you can see like they reach under the counter and they pull out a pretty sizable bag. You had handed them a big chunk of hard currency, and you would guess that you've probably tripled your money. You had given them just 500 credits and a couple of coins.
Yep.
But as you go over and they push this across over to you,
Just the girl I was looking for.
she nods and she says, "You did pretty good. Those coins were rare." And it's 1,500 credits of hard currency.
Okay. So, Keiko, my girl, she's gonna hit the Tetra stick. Doesn't that give me extra charisma?
It does give you plus 100 charisma checks conditionally.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
I'm gonna go, well...
Make a. Oh man, I think it's a will save. Give me 1 second here. Check my addiction trackers.
Damn.
Oh.
Yes. Who knew? Hard drugs have consequences.
Make a fortitude save, please.
Is it mind affecting?
It is.
Oh, I have resistance.
There you go.
I don't know what that means, but I know I have resistance. 15, and then whatever resistance is.
Okay. You take a deep hit from this, and it's effortless. So easy for you to do this, and you're barely even thinking about it.
Yeah.
As the warmth creeps into your cheeks and kind of flows through your bloodstream and hits your fingertips, it's great. It's just almost second nature now. And you're not getting any closer to addiction, you're sure of that.
No, of course not.
But you look and you feel a little more charismatic.
She's gonna lean in and go, you just hold on to that. I'm gonna try to make another bet. But I need to know more about the teams that I'm working with.
Make a diplomacy check.
And what is it, like +4 with the Tetra stick?
It's Tetra stick, I think, just gives you +1.
Oh, okay, that's also fine.
Echo is a little bit further down the bar and like orders around for the tea
Okay.
while like
28.
carefully extending the foils for like hearing.
You can mark off 4 credits. You said 28?
28.
Okay.
I'll be midway between Spice and Echo.
Okay. Where are you, Gibbs?
I'm looking for whoever feels like they're celebrating having won money on the Vask. I'm looking for like Vask fanboy.
Okay. Make a sense motive check.
Cool. Nat 1.
No, that's a 7.
No.
Oh,
That's
no,
a 7.
Yeah, okay, never mind.
Your dice confuse me too.
Yeah.
You said
So never mind. I like go look and I'm like, ooh, mission, and then I see the beer and I'm like, ooh, food.
You look over there and you can see, looking real sad right now, but still kind of like grooving, this Woyoko. And I mean, he probably is a huge fan of the vest. You just get the sense. But he's, all the way at the other end of the bar. I would say with a 28, the Lashunta bartender leans in. And,
+2 to charisma skills, I looked it up.
oh, very nice.
29.
Very nice. And she'll say, well, they have a new member since they lost one, I think. Ashashi, you know the soul drinker, right?
Soldier.
I do know the soul drinker.
Oh, soldier.
So he's involved, and he's a Vesk war hero, according to the Vesk. You should be really careful about them. They are really... They look around, and you can see the other Vesk who works behind the bar is currently like off cleaning, and they lean in and they go, they're very Vesk. They're really into honor and things like that.
Ashashi. Where have I heard that name before?
Well, they're the leader of all the Vesk in the Zen Crawler.
god, the Neon Wraiths are going against that team?
Yeah, and Throxvor was a wing commander during the Vesk War. Almost all of them have combat experience, except for maybe one or two.
But like, ship combat experience, you're saying?
War combat
Oh,
experience.
that's not cute.
I think almost all of them, except for Gortoxitog, I think they were an air conditioner repairman.
Oh, and I assume the new mechanic, Gortoxitog. How many people have bet on them to win
Well, right now...
versus the Neon Wraiths? After their spectacular win. Did you see that?
It was great. Look, this is Vesk territory. And so they're always going to be the favorite. Don't take it personally. But they're
I do.
still favored to win over you.
Okay, well, thanks. I'm gonna do another bet on the Neon Wraiths, though.
You're only at, I think, plus 70, something like that. It's a close match, so you're not going to win as much.
That's okay. And so I'll slide over 1,000 hard credits.
Parlay the bet.
Another 1,000, so 2,500 credits will be the total amount bet.
I don't know what that means.
No. You have 1,000.
No, I have 1,500. I want to keep 500.
Okay.
Of it,
Yeah.
No worries.
and then.
I go
bet
past their
1,000.
pockets like, wait.
You pass that money over.
Neon Wraiths. I'll be back tomorrow to collect my winnings. Thanks, Keko.
She nods. And, yeah, that's it. No problem.
Wait, can you? I forget. Ashai. We've heard that name before, but I don't. quite
Ashashi.
know. Ashashi.
Ashashi is the leader of all of the Vesk in this area. The Vesk...
We haven't met him before.
You have
right?
not.
Okay.
The Vesk loosely are aligned into a loose faction, and on the Zen Crawler, they are led by Ashashi, who is a very, very old-fashioned Vesk. They're older. They believe in the Vesk old ways, which are you are what you eat, and so they eat those that they vanquish, and they gain their strength.
Let me be eaten.
Melora.
And somebody had clued you into that. You haven't met them, but you do know that they work out of the Warvok Shorn.
And that's where we are.
Correct.
Okay.
So I thought the Soul Drinkers fighter were the people we fought last.
Soul Drinker is the name of a fighter as well. That's a coincidence more.
Oh, okay. I was like, we just fought Soul Drinker people.
No, that's my fault for naming literally everything in this universe. I only know so many words.
Joe just loves the name
I
Soul Drinker
do.
for
I
bad guys.
do. There are certain things that are really hard to get away from because they sound so fucking cool. Sorry.
And just think about it. There's got to be other people who have the same bad guy
Right.
name, and the Marvel universe, they have to like trademark that shit. There's a whole board.
Does this have to do with the Grezogot company that's on the crawler? Because I know they're run by the Vest, no?
You're talking about the Whamsin?
Whamsin, that's what I meant. Yes, thank you. I was looking. I was.
Does what have to do with the Whamsin?
No.
Oh, you know that?
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Okay. I don't know where I got.
Database.
Nice.
So the Whamsim company is, I believe, based out of Vesk 2. And so, like, loosely along the fact that Skittermanders are conquered by the Veskarium, and so they sort of fall within the sphere of Warvok Shorn. They're related, but very loosely.
Bubs is still like relatively close to Echo. Echo overheard all that, yes?
Yes.
Echo kind of leans over to Bubs.
I do have a way to get into their home base, as it were.
I'm listening.
Not here,
Okay.
but note.
Gibbs, are you doing anything?
Looking at the Wayoko across the bar, I'm not paying enough attention to anything to really be useful. in this.
Okay, no problem. At first, you're like, wow, this Wayoko is really, really moist, but they're just crying a little bit, and they just...
All Wyokas
Yeah,
are moist,
yeah.
right?
But
part of their
but
body
you watch,
chemistry.
and then your group kind of gets ready, and if you want,
Oh wait, are you leaving? Do I notice you leaving? Are you leaving?
Yeah,
we're
it's
like-
Are we leaving?
Yeah, we collected what we came here for.
Okay.
Like
Or did
Echo Echo would have wanted us to like stay for like a drink or two.
Oh,
Because
down.
we just won a thing.
Great. Then I grab my little carton of space milk, and I'm gonna waddle across the bar and go towards the sad, crying person and fix this problem.
Okay. You go over to the sad, crying Wayoko, and you can see he looks over at you and he goes, "Hi, bro.
What's going on?
I'm just not having a rad time right now.
What's wrong?
I missed it. I missed the most important thing ever."
What?
He's
You
just
can tell me, and I put my hands
tears
on
are like
his...
rolling down. You can see he puts his
liver.
webbed hand over your other hand, and make a diplomacy check. I can't believe this is
15 plus 11. 26. Thanks.
only the most amazing invention of all time. The Jet Set 3000. It's bringing waves to Aras Bay. And there's gonna be actual surfing, but I'm missing it.
Wait.
He brings out his communicator, and you can see he pulls up the infosphere, and he pulls up a roll a D100.
Okay. Yeah. 26.
26.
Yeah.
So you turn it on, and you can see on the infosphere, this is a infosphere channel that belongs to somebody named Chet.
Okay.
And you can see there's like all this surfing like iconography, and there is a live video right now of them with all these tiki torches in the distance, and they are riding a huge wave. And you recognize Aras Bay in the background. You can see like the little lights that would indicate the starport off in the distance. This is a truly titanic wave. And you remember there was no waves in Aras Bay last time you were there.
Ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a dead ocean. Dead ocean, yeah.
But the Oyoko is now like full on crying, and he just says it was gonna be the best time ever, and now I'm not even seeing a single wave. He just points. He's like crying on his communicator. How are you fixing this?
Are you trying to get to Aras Bay, or it's like too late, too little, too late?
Can you put the past in the future?
No.
What are you even doing here? I'm sorry, that wasn't rad of me.
You know what is kind of like waves? Okay, you know how the Zen crawler moves, right? I wonder if there's a way you could like suspend yourself off the back of the Zen crawler and do like
Space Ops.
Shut up, I don't know.
You seem like a really nice Yosoki, but I'm not looking for solutions right now.
Oh, okay.
He's so
I just need to feel.
Oh,
Wow. Emotionally mature.
And you can see he rewinds the live stream all the way to the beginning, and you can see like chat like starting the go live thing. It's like, "Hey bros," and it's like the whole thing now. He starts sobbing again.
Oh wait,
You
are
hear
they
this
dating
voice
now?
off
Is
in
it
the
like
distance.
canon?
It's a PR relationship.
Oh,
It's Taylor
got it.
Swift and Travis Kelce.
Yeah, it's definitely. It's. I think it's even more like those channels where it's like every single part of like the relationship is the channel.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah,
We're gonna leave that.
they're just crying and watching this again.
Gibbs has never met Chet.
That's
Because
true.
Gibbs never went to the dance thing, so they've never crossed paths, and she has no...
And you were in the kitchen when the
I've
serving
never
happened.
canonically met Chet.
No, you've served Chet food, but you have never met Chet.
Yeah, that's true.
And you saw the order, and you were like, "What the fuck is
Right.
this?"
But like wasn't traumatized enough. Got weird cousins with weird food things.
So no problem.
I think that's important, that wave thing. I don't know why.
Because it indicates that they're fucking up Aura's Bay. Maldros is like, was doing some bullshit.
No, Raphael was talking about how Oris Bay, someone was doing
Some shit, yeah. So like there's some stuff to Google there, but we have no cell service, so I guess I'm not gonna do that.
I mean, you could.
Can I... Wait,
Well,
but is this like
communicating.
sketchy?
It's a
Like-
trap.
Yeah, is this like a trap?
Joe's setting a trap for Ari.
Are you asking if Joe
Yeah.
Treff, a human, is setting a trap for you? There's no role for that. That's a metagame into a whole other.
No, Gibbs doesn't care that much about
Look at
whatever the
the
fuck
Ari
Chet's
stats.
up to.
Yeah.
It's
Are
like,
you have an inability in that?
right. It's like, I bribed the DM. Okay. No, I'm moving on from this conversation.
You make
I
your
will
way out of the
Fulfill
shipyard.
our obligation of the multiple drinks we need to have to
Okay.
feel like we're
I
part of
would
this
like.
community.
So Spice is gonna come up with like her nice little coin purse, I guess, and she's gonna go, guys, you say gambling is bad, but let me tell you, I've got 500 credits of hard currency here. A round of drinks for everybody who bet on the Neon Wraiths, and hopefully the bar's not that full, right?
So you would be buying.
People watch.
I think there's a microorganism that splits off into like 100 different people. It's like, I'll take one.
That'd be so
There
annoying.
are 7 people total in the bar right now.
Oh, nice.
So
Okay,
7
so-
drinks.
And I will buy drinks for everybody who bet on the Neon Wraiths.
I was going to say we should make friends
Is that
with
how else do you-
everybody. But I suppose that works
I
as well.
started. Sorry, I didn't. Oops.
You can see
jumped
when
the gun a
you
little.
say that out loud, there's a Vesk who is like sitting off in the corner, and they like just kind of look around and go,
Bullshit.
"On the Neon." Make a sensitive check.
There's no way hardcore Vesk people did this.
Whoa!
Sense motive? What'd you want?
Yeah, sounds motive.
Okay, 25.
It's a 25. You look, it's slow motion. Like this is oh man, what's Sherlock Holmes like zooming into all the clues.
Oh, Mind Palace.
Yeah, exactly. You can see this Vesk as their hand goes up, these brown robes just fall down the scaled arm, and they do have an LED implant on their forearm that is like a Vesk style tattoo that reads Shorn in Vesk. You speak Vesk, correct?
I do.
That just means shame.
Yeah.
And that doesn't speak of like a hardcore Vesk, like, super proud of their heritage or anything. There's something going on there. And to you, probably not an outright lie. They probably didn't bet on the Vesk. You get the sense that they probably didn't place any bet. Them looking around was them being like, there's up for free drinks for everybody. And in their brain, they were like, can they possibly check this? No. I bet on the... So they're just trying to get a free drink. There's no real malicious intent.
Okay.
Fucking no way I'm gonna.
Yeah, so who
include
does that?
this.
Who says free drinks and then questions
You
someone?
can see there is this humanoid
They are
individual
Vesk. They might have information.
who has all these weird angular coral protrusions, and they reach up and you hear what sounds almost like glass breaking in different kind of degrees, and another drink kind of is slid towards their direction. You can see a purple and green slug, huge and kind of coating the entire seat in this mucus, lifts up an arm, which is more of a tentacle than an arm, and that too has like a webbing that comes off of it. They raise up their hand and they say, "Me as well!" But you end up buying drinks for the entire group unless you go back on your word. A Kaiser as well.
So Echo and Spice had a little bit of an exchange where Echo was like, buy a drink for the Vesk, and Spice was like, no fucking way. I'm not gonna buy like a drink for that fucking scum of the earth. And then changes her mind. She's like, only if we use this man. So I'll buy him a drink. And so she will buy everybody a drink.
Okay. You can mark off 5 credits, 5 hard credits.
I've got so many. Well, actually.
Echo, make a perception check. You immediately, as soon as Spice does it, you're like, wait, and you look around.
28.
What you notice as this happens, there's general good cheer. People, they celebrate and people are excited. Not about you all. There wasn't a whole lot of folks who were like excited to see you come in. This is a place where people mostly just ignore each other, and that's an established part of why people come here.
The home team won in a separate game. Of course they're excited.
Yeah, they're like relatively happy regardless, but also there is one person that doesn't really react like this, and that's because they're standing outside looking in through the window. This is a pretty large humanoid. You can see wearing what looks almost like a black hooded cloak, cut almost like a poncho, so it goes all the way down the front, all the way down the back. There are electro-reflective plates that do line parts of the edges of this that do seem to almost glow a little blue. There is, in the sort of organic chin, elements of machinery that seem to disappear past this point, so like very little organic human left. Definitely human or Lashunta, but a little bit broader of shoulder, and they are staring almost directly at you.
It's not what I thought it was.
And they're just watching. But you buy these drinks, no problem. Are you doing something with this Vesk? He nods as his drink comes to him.
She brings, so Echo, Spice is going to enlist Echo to help pass out the drinks.
Okay.
And Spice is gonna go up to the Vesk with like
Delivery
the tray of
yet again.
drink. What? MRS.
I am a delivery unit.
And she's gonna drop it down and go, it's nice of you to have bet on a team that wasn't of your own kind.
You can see he recoils a little bit at that. He takes it and he just says, there are all kinds out there.
There are. Why did you vote on the Neon Wraiths rather than the Revengers, the Tokyo Revengers?
Tokyo Revengers.
The Veloci Revengers.
Nice.
Tokyo Drifters.
Make a diplomacy check.
I love this, by the way. This is great.
Oh, natural 19.
Nice.
I don't know how to do this.
Why do you sound like a cat?
Yeah. Okay.
22 plus 19 plus 2
22.
plus
Wait.
19
2 plus 19 or
No,
22?
22
plus
plus
19.
19.
Good lord.
41.
plus 2 is 43.
He
Get this whole guy's back.
smiles. You can see dagger-like vest teeth coming from beneath these kind of like almost mint green scales. And he says, look, I like you. I didn't bet on your team. I just wanted the free drink. But the Vesk aren't too hot either.
Oh yeah? Why?
Gestures around. You think we should be proud to call this place home?
What's so bad about it here?
He looks back past you. He nods his head. The first thing that he nods towards is Bubbles. He like turns around. He nods at the Boyoko, and like just after that, just goes, just a bunch of pathetic people.
I get that. I only associate with strong people. Who do you associate with?
His eyes narrow for just a second, but he takes a long drink, and that seems to melt away any residual resistance. And he says, "No one. I'm trying to get out of here.
Ooh.
You folks wouldn't be headed off any direction coreward, would you?"
What core word?
Like,
core word?
we're at the edge of the earth. If we're
Oh,
Galaxy, yeah.
Not for a bit. Why you need to go towards the center?
Anywhere away from here, really.
Why are you so eager to leave? Things are good right now. There's a festival, there's a tournament, but I don't understand what you're trying to run away from.
Have you noticed that you can only pay using hard currency and
I
trade?
did notice that. It's fucking annoying, isn't it?
And there's some kind of criminal war brewing, and I'm not trying to stick around to find out.
Oh, you think so? Between who?
The Carbon Cartel and someone else. I don't know who would be dumb enough to do that.
No, I want to know who the someone else is.
Looks around, and then you can see he's holding his glass like this, and with one pointed Vesk finger, he goes, "I would have no idea who might do that." And he points, and you follow this point, and you can now see the same individual staring at Echo. This person with these almost like sleek, brushed metal, almost pistons that attach the organic part
Is
of
this
the top to the
$8.99?
up top. No. I
No?
would say for free. This is not an Echo unit. This is much larger than any Echo unit you've seen.
Oh.
This is probably a human, but highly modified, even more than you.
Okay.
But the Vesk just kind of closes their hand around the drink again, and they say, whoever it is needs to be powerful to go up against the Carbon Cartel, even out here.
Is Hardcore Henry a human?
Yeah,
Is he highly modified?
yeah.
Do you think it might be the king of the kingdom or whatever the name of this is? King of the
The king.
He
The
just
king.
laughs at that and kind of chortles a little bit, wipes some of the foam away, and he just goes, "You're not really from around here for sure, huh?"
No, I'm just visiting for the tournament.
Henry's a strong fella. He's got a lot of muscles.
Just him, or like muscles meaning like his posse?
Let me tell you everything about Henry. He's got a lot of muscles.
Okay. Great.
Drinks milk like crazy.
He looks around nervously and just says, he's also got a lot of support.
Clearly you don't support him, so like who? The Carbon Cartel is clearly not with him, so it can't be them.
He's got an entire compound full of henchmen.
What are they called?
I mean, they got names.
This one's Derek. That one's Toby.
Not everybody's got a team name.
That'd be convenient.
Are any of the other people in the lockout, any of the teams in the lockout tournament affiliated with Hardcore Henry?
I mean, not officially, but I'm sure a couple of them on his payroll.
I want to know which ones are.
I got a few friends that work for him.
You do? Who are they?
You sense at once you're kind of pushing the edge of that diplomacy check. You're probably
Okay.
getting closer to having to make another one. You've gotten a lot out of that. But he looks at you and says, why are you asking all these questions?
I'm new around here. I just won a lot of money on this tournament, so I'm trying to win as much as I fucking can. And knowing the drama behind the scenes is 100% how you rig these games.
I got a guy
Oh, yeah?
who you could meet.
Oh, yeah?
You want to know about drama. He'll bring the drama.
Eat that shit up. What's his name? And what can I bring? I don't want to come empty-handed. That's never a good look.
I'll have to talk to a few people to get you in there, but
Okay.
his name's William.
Oh, William.
Goes by William the Pleaser.
Oh, I've never heard that name before.
He sells information, firearms, things like that.
That is great to know. And I shouldn't bring anything? You know, maybe a couple bottles of Lashunta liquor or like...
Anything you bring with you is probably going to get taken away, so I'd...
as it happens. All right,
Travel
he's one of
light.
those. Fine with me. Great. I guess I'll have to bring a little bit of information.
Yeah, and... You don't talk to much people. You'll have to get by his bodyguard first, and
Okay.
that's kind of tough to do as well. And to even get there, you have to get past all the Carbon Cartel folk.
Ew, so William's a part of the Carbon Cartel? Sort of.
For that, you get the sense that you're now going to have to make another diplomacy check.
Okay.
I believe in you.
Me too. Yeah, here we go. Sorry.
I like the sound effects for calculating rolls.
33.
33. He nods a little bit and he says, you know, I don't know about all that, but I it's a little strange, that relationship.
All right. Well, thank you, sir. Enjoy your drink. And she'll cheers him and then get up and leave.
Okay, no problem.
While that's happening, Echo has encouraged people to make friends. Echo's apparently caught somebody's attention.
Yeah, you can see barely there is the metallic frames of some kind of ocular scanners or some sort of eye implants, but they are very much focused on you. They're not being discreet about staring, but people are passing right around them.
In the like avoidance kind of way, or in the
Yeah,
just like
in the avoidance kind of way.
like, oh my gosh, I know who that is, run away.
This is an individual who is a member of the Cult of Oil and Chain.
Oh.
You can tell by the electroplating around the outside. This is not just a member; it's a member of some standing. I would say actually make a religion check.
Is there a religion?
Mysticism.
Oh fuck. I don't think I can. I'm not. It's not a class skill, nor is it trained.
And no ranks?
Oh, yeah, if that was a rule.
21.
I mean, not bad.
I rolled an 18.
Wow, yeah, that's pretty good.
It comes to you in a almost memory, maybe, of hearing about some of the rank names here. It is an order or a, well, they consider themselves an order. Everybody else considers it a cult that is very regimented in its organization. The markings that you're seeing, these electric plates, they would mark them as a clerico guardian, which is somebody who has some standing within the organization, who has sacrificed a fair amount of their biological matter for the eventual attainment of something called the All Code, and they are almost certainly used in a enforcement or assassination or other very specialized and not peaceful capacity.
They're like the exorcist bishops.
Yes, that is a very good way of thinking about them. And I would say, you know, just given the background that you have, they will occasionally contact Mars laborers to acquire items of kind of technological import or oddity that are brought into other parts of the Zen Crawler.
Gotcha.
They're very dogmatic in their approach to acquiring things of import to the organization.
Gotcha.
Unfortunately, it seems my disguise has caught attention.
What do you mean?
That guy staring at you?
I believe he thinks I am an actual Mars unit.
Well, that's great, because then that's believable. But maybe he also thinks you're cute.
That
Yeah, you
is
could
most
definitely spin it that way if you wanted to.
He thinks some part of me is cute, perhaps.
Do you want help going to talk to him?
No. What I do want is for you to continue to interact with others and learn as much about the Vesk team and their matches as you possibly can.
But not that one, and she'll point behind her hand at, whatever.
We never knew that guy's name.
Yeah, whoever that is, and she'll do it at the window.
The scary bishop guy?
Yeah. Has, Cult of the Oil and Chain over there.
I plan to quick have a word in full view.
That seems unsafe for
It
you.
is.
It's okay. I trust you. You'll come back.
Bobby, go with her. To them.
I would
Okay.
appreciate it if you did not. It will make my cover less believable.
Okay.
However, if I do not return within 10 minutes, please do come.
Okay.
Can I turn on a track? Is there a tracker button? Like, does
You
our
got your,
does our
It's your eyes echo.
You just press something on Echo, and Echo's like, that. What? How? Please stop.
Glove compartment. Some
How
old
did you
mouse.
find that?
But
Can I like link our Bluetooth so if you leave Bluetooth range, I know?
You have a tracker with health already.
Yeah, you have
Oh,
your...
yeah.
Your...
You care.
I haven't used it in so long. Yeah, you're
Are you
right.
still there?
you're
Well,
going
just
over there?
pinch yourself, and if you are hurt, I'll come.
I shall scratch myself.
That sounds good. I forgot I have that ability.
It has indeed been a minute. And Echo just kind of goes out. How far away from the door are they?
They are standing literally right outside of it, and as you get closer, they'll walk closer to the door. They look like they're very much waiting for you to leave.
Cool. Echo would probably try to like keep their back to the building
Okay.
as they try to leave, and then just like scooch along the edge of the building
Okay. You scooch along the edge.
to like make way for people to come in and out of the bar,
Okay.
and for Echo to have easy access to the door.
So are you standing on either side of the door, basically? Because he's coming to one side of the door. If you exit, you could stand on the opposite side.
Hold on, there's C's. So sorry.
Echo might be here with the guy, or here on the other side.
Echo wants to go outside,
Okay, you go outside.
but then keep back to the. Oh my god, this seat! It's made me mad. I want to like go out and then keep back to the building and just kind of like scooch to the side if possible, if he'll let me.
You scooch to the side. He does not move. You sense that you're going to like bump into him if you try, and so you can either kind of go around him and then put your back to the wall, or you could stand to the other side of the door with your back to the wall. And then people will be walking between you to go in and out.
Echo just kind of like opens the door. It's like, one of us shall have to move.
You can see he reaches up into his hood, and there's a little button that he presses. and you hear a high-pitched whining sensation. Your senses of the various passive like Wi-Fi and Bluetooth things just cut out. And for a human being, it would be like when one of your ears just suddenly starts ringing and you lose the sensation of hearing. It is like that, but
Like my tinnitus?
Yes. Yeah.
I am so familiar with
it
this
is very much
sensation.
like that. It goes across. You can hear everything else, but everything in the periphery just fades. And they say, identifying. I am designated Clerico Guardian Hultex of the Cult of Oil and Chain. You are debtor laborers who collectively bear the designation Mosaic Team 5. Inquiry. Would you like to maintain your cover?
Ah. Response. Yes. Inquiry. With what terms?
Proposal.
Further inquiry. Perhaps we discuss elsewhere. The door is not particularly conducive to discussion.
You can see they pull back this hood, and there is a very exotic looking implement. The places that you would expect there to be like breadboards and little elements of circuitry are almost crystalline in nature, and there are mechanical components, but this is something that is almost certainly a crystalline quantum computer of some kind that is being used in an active jamming capacity. This is almost certainly the source that is impacting all of this. And for those of you who are within the bar, even if you're paying really close attention, suddenly Echo and this individual, you can see the heads moving and everything, you're just hearing like the Charlie Brown wah, 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 wah. Yeah. And it's very hard to realize that because it just sounds like the passive level of noise around you rises a little bit, but it's really not. It's just this weird distortion of sound coming from right around the door. But they nod and they say, reassurance. We cannot be detected here for the moment. Additionally, you have blown your cover several times since arriving. Approximately 17, not counting anything that has occurred within the last 37 minutes.
Acknowledged. And
Proposal.
understood.
You will locate a manifested piece of the All Code, of high priority to the High Architeca. Addenda. A device created by a defunct company, known as Pallades Rock.
Inquiry. What device?
Make a diplomacy check.
Ah.
Four.
4. We
You're
love
having the android make a diplomacy check. Oh, sorry. 5.
Gotta put some more ranks in there, hun.
Clarification. You are at risk of exposing your true identity to this entire station. There will be no negotiation. I will meet you at your hangar bay. Addendum. I will come alone.
Clarification required. Which hangar bay?
You can see their eye suddenly lights up brighter and it projects onto the ground a three-dimensional video, like a security grainy camera footage of a slight eruption of sparks and then metal peeling away as your party emerges from the wall outside of the Warvok Shorn sort of area.
Further clarification required. Are you ever truly alone?
Considered response. Always. And they turn and they walk away.
Was that flirting? Because it felt like it.
Joe, I didn't catch his name.
Are you ever truly alone?
Clerico Guardian Hultex.
Hultex.
Huletex.
Neon race, neon race, neon race,
Come bursting out of the bar.
neon race.
And it's a different it's a little chillier outside.
Guys, I want to make sure we don't drink too much, guys, because, sometimes,
Neon race.
Go, bartender, Keiko.
No,
Ask Keiko about where to go for Keiko.
How many has she had?
Keiko about Keiko.
that like glazes over her
it's
spice.
very hard to count because, she does these, sleight of hand tricks where, you think
Your
she'll drink.
best guess.
Bubs is like,
I need another hand.
It is time to leave.
I'm sober. I'm just rousing the crowd.
But Echo believes that only one of you is drunk.
I get hyped.
Easy run.
Are you allowing yourself to be removed, Spice?
Bubs will try to very gently, not remove her, but he'll say,
Offer an arm.
Party outside
he'll offer an
on
arm,
the street.
and he'll say,
outside on the street.
he'll say,
Babe, I think that party's moving out to the street. That's what the
I
line
heard
is.
there's a party outside on the street.
But it's low key. We gotta keep it low key.
Oh, it's never low key. Parties should never be low key.
All right, bye. Bye for new friend.
Right? Yeah.
You can see there's like a general kind of like, oh yeah, just throw them like around the room and you
Did
make
they
your
learn
way out.
anything?
Well, do you want me to keep RPing?
No, what you're doing is way more important.
I mean, yeah, like Spice learned a fair amount from the Vesk. Depending on who you ask, kids learned something.
Can
about
I have
Elizabeth.
hooked the Vesk up with the Yoko because they both want to get off island? Can I be like, look, just carpool together?
The Woyoko, like, you cannot comfort him now. He is just weeping, ugly crying on the bar, just
is
like
not down for
yanking the communicator away. You see the Vesk looks over, and your like ears go up. You kind of swivel your big belly around as trinket, and you're like starting to point, and they just go. You start You're like, this isn't happening. You make your way out.
I'll find him a different ride off island.
Sure, no problem. So you all making your way back to your hangar bay?
yes.
Okay, no problem. You pick your way through Warvok Shorn. You go past a Gray who is currently wearing a very beat-up Vesk t-shirt, and they are selling a whole bunch of what look like toothpaste tubes. Bubbles, you're like, oh, nice. But then you look, and they're all certainly used. They have had something else injected into them, and you smell meat. Very iron. Oh, you can't. That's true.
I smell meat.
You smell meat. These are tubes of, I would say, gives for free. You know the smell of like ground up organ meat. These are just, each tube is a different organ meat, and this is a Gray. This is a Gray. You know this Gray. This is an individual named Lebowski. They sell precious processed potables.
Is he wearing a long jacket?
You don't know. You're leading the group. You don't see. Gibbs is the one who's really like, oh, meat. But you make it right back.
As we're walking, Bubs is gonna say,
You actually lose like 40% of the product in that actual tube, and it's like kind of like a scam. Like you need to like
You cut it open.
Yeah, that's what I. That's
Oh my god! And then
And then you get the toothpaste.
no, and then you get the tube too.
Why would I want a tube?
Because they make great like carrying vessels. You can roll them back up. You can put new things in them, and you just sort of weld it shut with like glue or duct tape or whatever. It's like almost infinitely reusable. The tube itself.
But the tubes are so inexpensive. That's why they're using them to package food, because it's inexpensive Gibbs, I need to like have a conversation with you about like how like products are like sold and packaged, and like not everyone wants to recycle things.
I don't want necessarily to like recycle things when recycling looks like throwing it in incinerators, because like I guess that's a form. But like, why would you just throw it out after you use it once if you could use it indefinitely in undesignated purposes?
Well,
because like,
I mean,
he's using it for me.
I mean, you kind of do make a good point. I mean, in a way, by throwing it out, there exists one dirty object, but if we clean it, then there's no dirty object.
Right.
So there's less trash in the world.
Yeah. And you can like fill it with things and.
I wouldn't go that far, but
Zero waste with Mosaic Team.
It's like Gibbs's bio is written like she hates recycling. It's like that's not really what the MO is, but
Yeah. And Bubs is he hates germs. But it's not
Right.
really him.
yeah. So you had that creepy guy. Did he want something? Did you pay him money?
Yeah, what happened there?
I
Are
tried
we,
really
like,
hard.
alone and also in our hangar yet?
Make a perception check. You're definitely making your way through the part of Warvoxshorn that's a little bit quieter.
It's a 13. Close. 29.
With the 29, you're relatively alone. But you think about that question you asked this person. Are you ever truly alone? He said yes, but you get the sense that that's not true. And you turn, and sure enough, maybe like 45 feet behind, and you can see he just leans right back up against the wall. But you see a huge uplifted bear who seems to be following by about 45 feet. They're almost certainly following you.
Is it the same greasy one as before?
You are not seeing them,
Oh, sorry.
but yes.
How many uplifted bears?
Right, like
All the bears.
it's
want
more
a
for
helicopter
flavor
down.
than
It's got an audience.
Yes.
It is best if we discuss this in our hangar. We are not alone. We have one tail. With a tail. Our tail has a tail.
What does that mean?
The bear from earlier.
The one that went up to me?
It would be wise for you to not react.
Oh, yeah, I'm calm. I'm calm. What does he want with me?
Our cover has been broken approximately 7 to 18 times.
No! I wonder who did that! But yeah, that's a bummer.
So, what do I have to do here? What is this guy gonna just follow us?
Act normal.
Okay.
If he attacks, we are prepared. We are aware of him.
But
We're
didn't
aware
you
of the
invite
bear.
him back to our spot?
No. Unfortunately, we have also been discovered by the cult of Oil and Chain.
Wait, so who's following us?
The
Is it
bear
not-
and the guy aren't working together?
No.
Wait, is Hultek's not with the bear? So
No.
who the fuck is following us?
The bear and Hultex.
They are different organizations. As you can see, as you know, the cult of Oil and Chain focuses on technological advancements, and a bear is not a technological advancement.
But there's two people following us?
Multiple organizations can want the same individuals. We are well aware of this.
Guys, we can talk about this until we're blue in the face, but I think he wants me. Should I split off from you guys and give him chase?
No. We are about
That's so
to be
conceited.
visited by the clerical bishop.
He did come up to me.
We are about to be visited by a clerical bishop of the cult of Oil and Chain. It would be wise to have our full force available to us. And
okay.
as Shade is not here, it is just us.
Clerical Guardian.
Whatever the fuck he is called. I don't have much respect for them, Joe.
That's fair. Clerical Guardian is less Catholic than Clerical Bishop, and I'm. Anyways.
Alright, so Spice cracks her
Somewhere
knuckles.
someday, someone rips a picture of the Pope.
I wrote clerical judge.
I also wrote Guardian.
Nevertheless,
I wrote nothing because I
Guardian
don't take
was
great
correct.
notes.
we have a visitor arriving. It is not a pleasant visit, and it will not proceed to be pleasant working with them in the future, as they will most likely wish to tear us apart.
Why?
Because their
For
whole
our
MO
innards.
is take your biological parts and put them in a shredder and replace them with
It is
Yeah.
wise we pretend
Spice
to
looks at all of her
cooperate.
augmentation and goes, what's wrong with that?
I don't have one yet, and I don't want that to be taken by somebody else.
It's really fine.
It is wise we cooperate, or at least operate under the guise of cooperation.
So what is our stance on these guys? They're gonna propose us with a job and we say no,
We say yes.
We say yes,
and then don't do it?
and then do
we
it.
decide later. To the best of our ability.
Okay. Alright. Aye.
Sounds like a plan.
How do you feel that you have a fan?
Um,
Are we?
I'm your
Have we
biggest
sorted
fan.
enough?
Circling the map.
You have more than one fan now.
You make your way back towards the space, and you can enter with no problem. You take a little bit of time, and this uplifted bear doesn't follow you all the way back, but definitely a pretty good amount of the way back.
As they like go to close the door, Echo looks out and like tries to make eye contact with the bear, or at least
Make a perception check.
be like,
You want me to fascinate and gaze him?
natural 20.
No, don't
Natural
need to.
20.
That's your second today.
Good
New dice.
New dice, good dice. I think
You
it's the
make
seat.
eye contact with them, and with the natural 20, they freeze, and you can hear all the way across just, we're coming back for you later, and he just runs. You hear trash like fall over in the alleyway. He collides with something. You just hear, get out of my way! And then a trash bag like flies out from the alleyway. Like they just collided with the trash. They were yelling at it, but that rattled them, and they run off and
Bubs
make
is
their
gonna
way in
have
the
to find a
distance.
human, shave him completely, put a birthmark on his face, and then just leave a dead body somewhere.
Why?
I think that should just be your MO for every dead body, and that way you can create confusion.
Shout out to the Amelia podcast.
But
Why don't you want to own Helicopter Johnny?
Because they want to like find.
I'm wanted.
You're wanted no matter who you are.
in
It
this
doesn't matter.
moment, you have all returned to your hangar. You've scared off this bear, and you can seal the door behind you with no issues. It is about 8:30 p.m. at this point. You have a little bit of time left. You know that the match tomorrow is at noon, and so you probably have. Well, you probably want to sleep at some point, but because it is 8 o'clock, we're going to step away for a quick break, and then we will return to see how you finish out your night. But thank you for sticking with us. There'll be a little countdown down there, and we'll be back when it ends.
Oh, it's over
Yeah, over there.
Wherever it, I don't know where it is. And welcome back. Thank you for sticking with us through the break if you did. If not, welcome to our Starfinder campaign. Our group has just arrived back at their modified hangar bay, which is really a storage facility that is being used for the purpose. It opens to the exterior of the moon of Zin. All of your ships, sans 2 that are being worked on at Godfrey's garage, are currently stacked up. Echo just glared off an uplifted bear that seemed to be following you back home. They shouted out that they would be back, and then they ran away, colliding with trash as they did so. But you were all back. It is about 8:30 p.m. What are you all doing?
Echo wants to do some repairs on their ship because you mentioned the engines weren't doing so well.
Yeah, and so, ultimately, as long as you make an engineering check. It'll probably take you 3 hours to fix. It'll probably take you 4 hours to fix. Remember how you were talking about how that chair was good for dice? What was that roll?
What do you think?
Was it a natural 1?
Did I just break my fucking ship?
Can I have helped?
You could definitely help,
Have
Gibbs.
helped break the ship?
I mean, if she's gonna break it anyways, might as well help.
Joe, please don't break my ship.
No, I feel like Gibbs.
I
helped.
didn't do anything.
Joe, please don't break my ship.
You don't break your ship. It's not like the whole thing crumbles into pieces.
Joe, I've got an 8. I'm super trained in engineering, man.
Yeah. What's the total of that natural 1?
19.
19?
Oh, that's true. Okay.
I'm super trained!
Put an asterisk on your ship's sheet.
I don't like that!
But you repair it, it does take you 5 hours.
I'm so tired.
You continue to take this thing apart and you put pieces back together. Gibbs is really helpful because pieces keep dropping, and every time that the walker takes a step, there is a slight momentum shift that moves little bits and bobs around, and you have to kind of chase down some parts. Gibbs serves that function very helpfully. Doesn't really help with the mechanical parts, and in your mind that's good, but I suppose we'll find out.
Every so often you ask for an Allen wrench and I just hand you the Richard wrench instead, and you're like, fuck!
Steve
How do you not know
wrench.
this?
But yeah, you repair your ship fully asterisk.
Don't like that.
That will take you probably till about 1 in the morning, give or take, just as a heads up. And you can start and stop it a little bit if you have other things you want to do, but it'll take you a while.
Someone might want to watch today's matches with the Vesk. They say as they begin to work on their ship before catastrophe happens.
I'm helping.
Yeah, is there a live stream we can watch instead of going to the battlefield?
Well, it's not a live stream. The match happened by the time that you get back.
Oh.
And so you can see that the
Vesk lost.
the Vesk won.
That's who we're fighting.
The Vesk won, absolutely the Vesk won. They were able to pretty handily defeat the the Dreadlight Collective, the Ice Cream Cake, finally coming back together. The Dreadlight Collective. And you can see this particular match took place on the Starburn Raceway, very tight match, but the Vesk all, well, we got cultures check. Bubbles. You're watching the kind of streams that you can find.
That is 19.
19. Okay. With the 19, the craft the Vesk are using are larger than yours. They are probably not interceptors like the things that you have been fighting and racing. These are probably true fighters, which are probably a little faster, maybe a little less maneuverable, but certainly faster than your ships. They are much larger and more heavily armored. This is sort of a different class of combat that you're going to be entering into. With that check, I would say you do note that their ships are all of the same variety. All of them, you don't really know necessarily what the variety is. There is one that does seem to be a little bit more of a newer variant, but all the same type, all Vesk military craft.
So having known that, oh fuck, I can't do an info series verge though.
You can?
So they retracted me. I mean, this isn't even that bad.
Yeah.
I don't like the way you said
I
that.
didn't like that. Does there exist public? Is there a public library in this thing?
Oh yeah, the Zid Crawler, the gangster library.
Yeah, the
There
gangster
could be.
It's the
library.
Cult of Oil and Shane. That's your public library.
Oh, okay.
No.
No, not that way. You join the collective.
If you want information,
It's like getting a library card.
there's a gentleman who
What libraries do you
I'm
go
just doing
to?
research.
there's William the Pleaser does have a lot of information.
No.
And Spice does want to meet William the Pleaser.
No.
I was just looking for.
I don't even think
information.
Bubs has his contact information. I think I don't remember. I don't think I got it yet. Bubs is gonna look on the infos here. And he's going to just look up historians
Okay.
who viewed the Vesk War, and like any like military historian who may like know of a weakness in the Vesk ships or anything that might have had them lose the war.
Okay, make a history check.
Is there? There's no history.
It's a cultures check. Okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm looking for the History Channel.
Sure.
Not the Discovery Channel.
That's a 13 plus 13, 26. They're both the same subsidiary. They're owned by the same company.
So you kind of fall down a rabbit hole. You look first at the Vesk who might be part of like this group.
Yeah.
And historically, so you know that Warvokshorn means the shame den.
Yep.
And this is generally a group. And you would find out through this research, a lot of the Vesk from the Zin Crawler are remnants of a group that fought in something called the Battle of the Dread Beacon. And many of them fought directly against the GPF. Many of this same group also fought in a slightly more, slightly less known military action. Give me just 1 second.
Too bad we can't get the
Search
Veloci
here.
Rangers.
Called the Nisqueegee action.
Squeegee action.
The Nisqueegee action, yeah.
The
It-
Nisqueegee.
it took
No
place-
squeegees.
It took place in the Nisqueegee system,
The Nisqueegee system.
where they fought against GPF Task Force 6. And you note really across most of the battles, the thing that ultimately turned the tide is one, many of the Vesk withdrew and went back to the Veskarium. You don't really figure out why. That's not within your research. You also note when the GPF formed, composing an alliance of the Castrovalian Navy, of the Uzidi Imperium, of the Shiren, it was just a numbers game. And really, the Vesk lost the war, but when you look at total overall losses, it's a slightly different picture.
So no weaknesses. Fuck. Okay.
No direct weaknesses. I mean, these are really powerful military craft. They didn't lose because of a technology disadvantage.
Yeah, I guess that's what Bubs does.
No worries.
Babe, I don't know about this next match. I looked up everything I could against the Vesk and their weaknesses, but I don't know anything about their ship weaknesses.
I know a little bit about Vesk and that they are stuck on honor. But how do you break somebody's honor? Because I don't have honor, and I don't know how to fucking make someone who has honor feel ashamed. Because they all have fucking shame tattooed on themselves. At least the ones here do.
Echo is like adjusting a bowl and twists their finger in the wrench and Well, they do have a base in the Wamzin shipping receiving hangar. If we go to Shade and get the identification card, there is a entrance to the hangar bay near one of the weapon sellers in the Warvokshorn.
What would our plan be with that? What would we do with that?
Are you suggesting we steal from the Vesk?
No, but if you wanted to get a closer look at their craft, if you could be sneaky about it. I am otherwise engaged. And they gesture at their ship in shambles.
But you know what tickles honor is when people act dishonorably and you get to fight from a place of being right. And like I fight from that high hill every time, and like it fills me with so much fire. So like I don't think we should like poke the bear by being dishonorable. We have to be more honorable than them. We have to have a higher horse. And then we have to stomp their horse with our horse.
How about you stop there? Wait, how about you be honorable? Good cop, bad cop. You be honorable.
So it doesn't
I'll
work that
be.
way, unfortunately. It's kind of an all or nothing system.
I don't get it.
Yeah. So, like, sometimes, you know how you, like, want something really bad? Sometimes you want something and that thing, like, you want it so bad it turns into a value. Like...
Well, money has real value, yeah.
No, but, like, you know, sometimes, like, there's things that I want, like, I don't want you guys to be hurt. So, like, my desire to not want that outcome, that tells me when I'm doing a behavior, like, you know, shame? Like, the feeling of shame?
No.
Okay, embarrassment, though. You've been embarrassed. You've made social faux pas, right?
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
On TV.
Right. So when you make those social faux pas, you are, like, motivated to not repeat that behavior again. So, like, the next time you went on TV, right, you didn't lose your shirt.
I didn't.
Yeah, because, like, you learn from that because you, like, let your emotions tell you, like, how to behave, and when you, like, behave...
How does this relate to the best honor, though? I'm confused.
No, I was more taking it as, like, a lesson for you when you told me you didn't have honor, and I was like, ooh, problem I can solve. So all I'm teaching you about first, like, the foundation of honor is the idea of, like, behaving in a way that aligns with your values, but we had to start at what are values, and then to try and get you to,
everybody's
like...
values are all different, so what is the best value that I can attack while I'm on the field?
Gibbs, you're firing straight over Spice's head here, and you're like, okay, let me throw a little softer, and you take the point in your paws and you underhand it to Spice, and it just goes straight into the stratosphere. And Spice,
Insulting people's mothers, usually.
Oh, that's great! That's genius! I will use that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Everybody hates honor and family are tied together really a lot.
Uh-huh.
Good. Thank you.
I have to imagine.
That was smart.
Yeah. Well,
amazing.
that's
The real reasons Echo is doing so poorly.
No, for sure. You keep hearing it, and you're like, no, that's clearly not the point. Spice, no. And you lose a lot of parts. You have to go find them.
Snip a wire in their fingers, have to reattach that.
Okay, so now we go piss in their pilot seats, right?
Babe, I don't want to piss anywhere but a toilet.
You don't have to. I'm not asking you to.
Okay, but we gotta wait for our date, right? Of Coil and Chain.
Oh, do you want me to be there for that?
We agreed.
Oh, right. So we're all just waiting for him?
Yeah, when's he gonna get here?
He said he would meet us. I suppose asking for a time would have been useful.
Ah, that's what diplomacy's for.
So, watches?
Slow blink.
Yes. Is just picking her nails.
Alright, I will take second watch. I will take first watch with you, because you're fixing your ship shill. Cool.
Okay.
You want to put me and Bubbles on a watch together?
No, not at all. You guys don't watch shit.
No, we don't watch shit.
I'm gonna wake you up independently.
Okay.
We're gonna get the
Hans is already asleep.
I'll wake you up at 2 a.m. Don't worry about it.
Okay. So you take the first watch. You can hear the sounds of Echo just working away on this ship. Just like that. And a couple hours go by. Nothing really happens. You can hear the sound of footsteps slowly go by in the outside hallway. And around midnight, there is a kind of ringing that you feel in your ears. And if you're kind of like, you especially with your big Yosoki ears, that sucks. And actually, you can feel for just a moment the bottle in front of you kind of pulses a little bit. Something's definitely up. Make a perception check.
This is the asterisk. Suddenly, Echo has more focus.
19.
19. With the 19, you wait and you listen. Something's different.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not quite sure what. And then you realize it's that you haven't heard any footsteps or anything like that outside in a little bit of time. Something's certainly different. And you get the sense that there's probably somebody or something waiting outside that door.
Is that the door we sealed shut?
Correct.
Oh. I'll just do a little and see if someone goes, like, back.
Okay.
Is the one booby trapped?
What?
Is the one booby trapped?
You have like some systems that you set up when you leave, but unless you're actively resetting them, then yeah, they're when you have a watch, they're down. But you go over, you kind of dun, 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 on the door. You just hear a single loud back.
I grab my can opener and my blowtorch,
Okay.
and I start to open this door, I guess.
So over there's like a brief silence, and you can hear the of like Gibbs and Echo. By the time you notice, Gibbs is like pulling the metal away, and you can see this individual just looms over the doorway. Huge. Gibbs, you had seen this person kind of talking to Echo outside of the shipyard of Sin, but these reflective plates seem to have some kind of electricity stored within them. They are like directly over you, and they look down, and you can see there's no biological eyes here. These are very similar to what Spice has, but they look down at you and they say, "Inquiry, you are Gibbs Scabrat."
Mm-hmm.
I am Hultex. I am here for a meeting with your Echo unit.
Okay, well, it's for all of us, really. I'm not just secretary. So, but come on in.
Clarification. I am here for a meeting with your Echo unit.
Well, she invited all of us.
They step deep down and like enter into the space.
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! I do the little Hamtaro dance from that.
Oh, Hamtaro!
Fantastic.
Little hamsters,
wow,
big
what a
adventures.
throwback.
Yeah, great show.
So I do a little like.
Hamtaro.
Echo kind of like cleans off their hands a bit, hops down off the ship, and
Okay. You stop. There's the of wind, but they don't seem to notice especially. And as you come to a stop, you can see their head almost imperceptibly inclines as a gesture of greeting, and they state, "You must have noticed Echo units have been disappearing.
Yes.
Inquiry, why have you not been taken?"
Answer. They have great friends.
You can see the head slowly turns over to Spice, who's like poked up from like being off, and I don't remember. I don't know what you were doing, but maybe
I
just,
sleep in a crate full of Tetra sticks, so don't forget.
And I
there's just
sleep with her.
little Tetra sticks like stuck to Spice's
I don't
face.
think I take one off. Okay.
Sure, no problem. The hand just comes down, but even slower, the face turns back to you. Ignores that comment.
Response. Unknown.
They turn and they bring up a very sleek, almost like a aircraft grade steel communicator. You haven't really seen anything like it, and you get the sense this is probably crafted within the Cult of Oil and Chain proper, but it looks almost like a watch with a spherical dial. And they tap it, and you hear a very familiar, if staticky, message play. And it begins with, "Come galactic wind or solar rain," and as this message plays out, the static almost consumes this, and you can see this individual shifts their fingers over top and a different message emerges. And you can hear a very electronic voice speak out, "They always find." And you recognize all at once that kind of coded message that you had been sent is now being played, a very similar message. But they tap their communicator, and this message is copied over to yours. Effortlessly, no computer check needed on their part. It just enters into your communicator. And you recognize it's because it was sent to you, initially. But they state, "There is some company that has acquired technology from Pallades Rock, enabling it to locate all Echo units. They have been acquiring them and bringing them to the Veskarium.
Inquiry. Information is being traded. Information is being offered.
Clarification. There appears to be no inquiry. That was a statement.
Are you offering to trade information?
They turn to you and they say, proposal. You will locate a manifested piece of the All Code. It is in a place owned by Pallades Rock. You have interest in this, yes.
Acknowledged.
Then we can work together. Upon arrival of the Pallades Rock Assemblage number 12, you are welcome to take whatever we find, with the exception of the device.
Inquiry. Assemblage number 12. Where will it arrive?
Assemblage number 12 will not arrive. We have its location.
It is a factory.
Their head nods as if to indicate that yes, it is.
Oh man.
Both Dan and Kara made the same, like, meh face at the same time. Like,
But Dan always
"Aw."
says that and then doesn't actually
No,
know.
but this is what Kara's been saying. So
Okay, so what is it? I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna test you.
I
You
also
have
don't
its
know.
location.
Affirmative.
Is it located nearby? And what is the time frame?
Information has already been exchanged. I will accompany you there.
He means to the Vesk area,
He means to the assemblage.
which is in the Vesk area.
What?
He hasn't explicitly said that.
I apologize. I believe there is a misunderstanding. I do not have the location of assemblage number 12.
Clarification. I have the location of assemblage number 12. Further clarification. I require assistance reaching it.
What assistance do you require?
Exhausted clarification. There are heavy defenses, automated by Pallades Rock.
Ah. What's the time frame?
Echo, tell them we can do it after we win this lockout tournament.
Inquiry. Restated. What is the time frame?
You have some mission here. That much is clear. Your time frame to complete it will be brief. Our order estimates no more than 3 standard days remain between the current outbreak of technology issues within the payment system and actual war.
Oh.
We must be gone by then.
Do you require transport?
Affirmative.
Understood. Our transport is not located on the Zin crawler.
Where are my d20s?
You will need to meet us on the surface of Zin.
They nod at that, and they say, we can arrange transportation to the surface of Zin. But from there, I require transportation
Garage.
to Pallades... Oh yeah, sorry, to Garage. To Pallades Rock Assemblage number 12.
I said Zin.
Really?
I meant Garachi.
Yeah.
Oh, and he
But
says
you...
Karachi
Sorry,
to me.
I thought you made a mistake. So you said
No,
Zin.
I said Zin.
So they will nod at that, and then they will just say, my order can arrange transportation to anywhere on Zin.
Understood.
He nods.
Where should we leave? Coordinates. Coordinates, of course, will be decided closer to our departure date.
You can see the head turns and they say, confusion. Where else would I be?
The crawler moves away. A suitable meeting place will need to be established.
You can see he takes one step back, and there is this brief kind of whoosh as they push this kind of poncho cloak back, and they sit down on the crate that Bubbles and Spice are sleeping within.
Understood.
Thank you for knocking.
Their head gestures slightly. And that seems to be all.
Is he just gonna wait here, Echo? MRS?
He turns to you and
Yeah.
he says, clarification. Deception is no longer necessary in my presence.
Oh,
So he's gonna hold our secret for 3 days, and then in 3 days we have to go and bring him to assemblage number 12.
where's assembly number 12?
Wherever he tells us it is.
Yeah, we just have to trust this.
He's gonna be the GPS.
What's in it for
Mosaic
us?
Team 5, designation Bubbles, sub-designation Adam, sub-designation Adam Danger, Susan, Price.
Sub-designation.
The mighty-
Johnny Helicopter.
There's a couple more in there.
Yeah.
Your information's out of date.
He states, I mean, that's where it ends, so for what it's worth, he is not current on the Johnny Helicopter situation.
Daniel Danielson?
Daniel Dennison would come up there, yeah. But would nod to you and would just say, oh man, I forgot what I was saying now.
I was mostly just trying to fill in the gaps of like trying to recap things. Mostly just being like, so you're just gonna wait here? Our identity's not safe anymore? Just kind of like recap.
He nods and says, your identity will be much safer with me present. You have lost your cover no fewer than 17 times. Their communicator comes up and they tap it, and you can see there is a map that pops up of all of Warvok Shorn. You can see some of the places you're familiar with in the district, and little maps pop up, and you recognize that all of you traveling to and from Godfrey's Garage, to and from Ego Breaker, there's one path that you primarily take, and that's heavily colored in here. There's another one that you take when you go off into Ego Breaker.
So you're saying
It's
if we
a
should
little
take
bit
different
looser.
paths.
He flicks the communicator again, and Bubbles, the text message comes up where you use Spice's actual name.
Yeah.
Fuck.
He swipes it again, and there is a replay where you can see that it's a communication log that shows a communication device that traces back to Mosaic Team 5. It is not yours, Bubbles, and it's not Echo's. You would actually recognize that it is Shade's. And you recognize that this seems to be Shade trying to access somebody else's communicator.
Oh,
He's the hand
this
in
is
the
what
pocket.
you did. Oh,
They
God.
swipe it again. There is security footage. There's no sound from it, but it is from Ego Breaker, the outside of it. And they swipe again and again and again, and it is several angles of the outside. No fewer than 22 angles, in fact, of the outside. 4 on the inside, and then 6 more that show little flashes of like the back of you and like slight partial angles. Swipes it again, and there are now 3 feeds that are kind of like hovering around each other. You see one from a tiny little like vantage point that would indicate similar to the Yosoki little cyber rat that had been observing all of you. They're tapped into all of these cameras, and they have you on all different sort of footages going to different places. But he kind of closes that all down and then swipes one more time, and you can see a current live feed of the outside of where you are all currently situated. You can see there are like the kind of multicolored walls of different paneling where you have separated away and reattached the door. And you can see, at first, Bubbles, you're almost sure that they just came back and fell asleep because they're kind of slumped over on the bench. But as you watch, something tells you they are not really breathing a whole lot. But you see one of these uplifted bears. They're like just slumped over on the metal bench outside.
He's hibernating.
Sure.
What?
But
That's
Hueltex
sad.
closes that down.
Wait, what about zoom in on that one?
He wants to kill me.
No, he doesn't. He's your fan.
Well, I'm concerned.
Turns to you and just says, "This was one of the designation Bad News Bears. They had been hired along with an individual known by Billy Joe,
It's Billy Joe.
by brothers Mario and Melina, specifically to confront your Echo unit for murdering their leader."
What have you not told us?
You were there for that.
Oh.
That was
on
the
the
Bad
ship.
News Bears was the
It was
first.
the twins.
The first thing we did.
Okay.
Lockout tournament thingy.
Oh.
You are fortunate. They had done research on all of you and acquired footage that I have since scrubbed.
Well, thank you. You're pretty helpful, Mr. Hueltex.
Helix.
Clerico Guardian Hueltex
Oh.
is my designation.
Clerical Guardian Hueltex. It's nice to meet you.
And Bubba's gonna extend a hand.
I do not wish to touch your biologics.
Oh, good, because I didn't want to touch your hand either. But it's like a formality that people do, and I'm trying to get outside my.
Bubba's gonna say bubble, but
Annoyed
then he says comfort
clarification. I am familiar with human customs.
Yeah,
They are inefficient.
Bubbles.
yeah.
He does not intend to be our friend.
Oh,
He intends to be our passenger.
He intends to hold us hostage so that we can do a job for him.
Yeah, what? Okay, my question is, what am I getting out of this?
We're getting our cover not blown. He's
It's already
blackmailing
blown.
to him, but not to Hardcore Henry, who we're ultimately after.
The Carbon Cartel, the way I see it, is that they've already fucking seen we're here. And I don't buy that you, Mr.
clerical
Helix,
guardian. Clerical
he's
bishop.
no clerical guardian of mine because he's holding me hostage. I need hard currency if we're gonna do this money or this job for you.
Make a diplomacy check.
What I was hoping for. You're dead.
Where's the chill?
No,
right next to you.
he's.
We
I
should
think
ask
she's
him
saying
something better, like help us fix the
that's
ships
not a
or
bad
something.
number.
Spice has one goal.
Well, honestly, that's all I could think of in the moment. So I'm sorry. That's my go-to. If you guys want a
bad.
different go-to,
No,
then you'll
no,
have
I
to
like
tell
it.
me.
It makes sense for Spice.
I'm good with it. We can always use credits.
34.
Patient explanation. Currency is vulgar. Information is more important.
Okay, so then you better give us some really fucking good information about what?
Spice Anuto,
Yes.
you fled Akaton after the bombing of a small town.
Her face immediately drops. How the fuck did you know that?
Because you are the angel of Akaton. And you can see he pulls up this communicator and flicks over this video, and you see two things, because at once your mind goes back and you can see this person that you remember. If you had to use one word for them, it might have been soft. This is a person that to you can remember walking through the desert and holding their hand. You remember picking cactus flowers. You remember meeting their family when you should have been on duty and working for the GPF. But you see Julian as he was, and you also see him as he is now. Covered in tattoos. Pretty badly scarred. You can see a lot of work has been done to restore elements of his body. But in this sort of video, you can see silent but little closed captions sort of reading this song about this individual from Akaton, this girl that he once knew. And before it can continue, it flicks by it, and you can see there is this news article playing from back during the Vesk War about this bombing that killed several civilians in Akaton. They flick this back, and you can see now very business-like portrait of your mother.
Oh my god, my heart is beating so fucking fast right now.
And so you just flicks by this again and again. and they say,
Stop. That's enough.
information is important,
That's enough.
and I can provide much information once we have achieved the device.
Fine. Fine. She'll lay off.
Did Bub see that?
Yeah.
We all saw that.
Oh, yeah.
Bub saw a picture of Julian as he's alive today.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Bub's just gonna sense motive Spice and just look at her and see what
Okay.
What? You just passed. What do you mean?
do you mean I just pass?
What do you
She's
could?
not hiding anything.
Yeah, no. That was like the most rawest moment that you've like ever
Yeah,
seen
but,
her in.
13 plus.
What am I even what do I even roll against
18.
that?
18.
Bluff? What do you want?
What does he see?
What are you trying to find out?
Yeah. I want to see, because it was a flash. Bubs kind of wants to, because there was also a lot of emotional information given to Spice too there. He wants to kind of see if he can feel it out if Julian's secret has been kind of revealed to Spice.
Oh,
Why?
for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you mean, Joel? Olive doesn't know what the fuck you're
But
talking
he's
about.
alive. Didn't you not know he was alive?
Yeah, I didn't
So
know he was
Bubbles
alive.
knew, and
Yeah,
he hadn't told you, and so now
now
he's
you
trying to
know.
figure out, like,
If you know.
do you know? And
No,
yes.
and like Spice didn't know, but now she knows because she saw him, like
you know all that.
in like 10 years older or whatever.
Did he say Julian, or is it just pictures of him?
Just pictures.
Okay, so Echo doesn't know.
But it's cute desert flower.
Echo knows nothing about this.
Um,
Echo just knows that the bartender at the end of everything is.
Bubs doesn't know
Julian.
what to say. He's paralyzed. He doesn't know if he should say something to Spice, if Spice noticed or not. He thinks she has, but she hasn't said anything yet, so maybe he shouldn't.
She doesn't even see you.
Spice, you okay?
She also doesn't answer. She's just going, fine. Information it is. That's enough.
You can see he looks over at Bubbles, he looks around at all of you, and he says, "You have been traveling together for 2 months. Inquiry."
Who is he looking at? Spice is like
He's looking from
anywhere
one
else.
to the other, like all of you.
Yeah.
What?
How much do you know about each other?
We have professionally friendly relationship.
Are you familiar with the term team workers?
We're team workers.
Jewel, what are you trying to say here?
There is more that connects you than just Mosaic Team 5.
Like,
Are you trying to say a secret, Hugh?
what is that?
Did you know something that's going on?
Patronizing. Yes, Bubbles.
What does that cost?
We will retrieve the device, and then we can talk.
Dude, you sound like William. Please, right here.
So, what's your file got on me?
Make a diplomacy check.
I got something I want to do.
17?
I don't know if you want to roll
Plus-
high.
11 is 28.
Okay. Gibbs Scabrat, aka Bottles. And you can see
And I'm gonna like, da da da,
They-
as he presents it.
tap a little button and there's an explosion. It's like a spider web of interconnected Yosoki. You see a whole bunch of infosphere profiles pop up. There's a million connections to Gibbs. And then you see it explodes even further into smaller dendrites and branches that are the Junk Falls will always be junk movement. And this huge like network of different things. You can see this all kind of zooms into the Petra system and even further into your own homeworld and even further into a sort of complex series of different little webs. And you notice that there are a couple that are really standing out to you. Amongst there's Scabrats, one big bubble.
Yeah.
And that connects to another one that says the Freshies. And that connects to another one in parallel that says Rentropy. And there is a connection there to a larger bubble that then spreads out into the rest of the network. And this one reads GPF. you can see he turns around and kind of flashes back, and you see a kind of grainy infosphere video of you just barely as like the kitchen door opens. You can see Spices like throwing all of these like bottles in the air and making cocktails, and you can hear Celia Sweet's voice in the background as they like try to show this off. But you see like the top of your little chef's hat as you put food out and then run back into the kitchen, and you're just with the knife. But I mean, they have your whole story right here in front.
See, that everyone knows though, so that's cool, but nice. Well, cool to be roommates with you for like 3 days, Woltech.
Echo is fairly familiar with like the teachings of the cult of oil and chain just from living on the Zen crawler. They're kind of like basically like the Borg, like assimilation is a thing for them, or
Make a cultures check, and I would say take a +8 conditional modifier. This is indicative of all the kind of like passive information that you have acquired. They're not a very public-facing organization, and so you've pieced things together through whispers and bar sayings and things like
38.
that. 38. The belief of the cult of oil and chains actually extends to a much larger religious movement that is connected to something that is called the Chapel of the All Code on Castrovel. And it is a group that worships a 3-part god called Triune, that is the god of all technology and code and things like that. The cult of oil and chains in particular believes that by becoming a machine through piecemeal body modification, you can eventually obtain the enlightenment of what is called the All Code, which is like a sort of, in the mainstream religion back in Castrovel, it's like the Holy Spirit. It's symbolic. It's something that like exists as a metaphor. To them, it is a real flesh and code being that exists, and you can become if you try hard enough.
So I guess more of what I was looking for with that was because I have
Nobody's ever become Triune, and so people have not added the right pieces to themselves yet. There is searching for individual parts of the All Code to eventually, hopefully, obtain this state. And so it's not like assimilate like the Borg.
So it's not like trying to do forced conversions or anything like
Correct.
that. But also, would Echo have the sense that the Zon-Kuthan cultists are an offshoot of this?
Oh, I would say with that check, almost certainly no. Very different. The only thing that kind of runs parallel is that they remove limbs, but they're not doing it for like the torturous aspect or the pain.
Gotcha.
They're doing it to create efficiency.
Gotcha. So Zon-Kuthan is more about the pain aspect, and then this is more about personal modification. So
Correct.
It's okay.
I always thought that Zon-Kuthan did it for money. No, not for money, for that one particular incident when we were in
Why
there.
does anyone do organized
You
religion?
guys have a lot of pieces of information, but you haven't necessarily put them all together yet, it seems.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
Both of Echo and Heel text, and I'll just say it out.
sure.
So, what makes a device part of the All Code? Like, how do you... Like, I assume it's a device, like a device or something. Like, I don't know, like a Game Boy or something. But, like, how do you denote that it's part of the All Code?
Simplified explanation.
Please.
The galaxy that you perceive is a projection. The All Code is the projector. It is the image. It is everything that binds together. The All Code is everything. All devices are part of the All Code. You, Gibbs Scabrat, are part of the All Code.
But not sufficiently for you to put it in your body. Right? It needs to be like a specific thing.
I occupy a system that must be upgraded.
Okay. A manifested piece of the All Code? What makes it manifested?
You will see when the time comes.
Okay.
Clarification. You will not see. It will appear to be a simple machine to you, a layperson.
It's fair. I'm furthest from what you would want me to be if I were in your group. In the nicest way possible.
Further clarification. This is not true. I have sought all of you out because you are capable of what I need.
Nice.
Inquiry. The device was manufactured by Pleiades Rock? Or was it made elsewhere? Or do you believe it was not made at all?
This was a device made by Pleiades Rock, not in the assemblage itself. Where the device made was of no concern. It is only the device itself. You are not interested in the device.
I am not. I am concerned. I am concerned. Until we share more information, that is all I will say. After all, exchanging of information is the most important.
Echo Unit Designation 72549. I have all of the information. What are your concerns?
Pleiades Rock's intentions.
To harvest.
Has Echo been to assemblage number 12?
No.
Okay.
You've never even heard of the assemblages? I mean, it makes sense that they exist, but it's not something that you have any knowledge of.
Clarification. Many things harvest. What are they harvesting?
Make a diplomacy check.
Can I help somehow?
Sure. How are we going to help?
I'm going to reach into Echo's mind and be like, "You got this, honey."
Lashunta inspiration.
Take a plus 0.5 conditional modifier.
It's an 18.5.
Yay!
We round out in this game.
Yeah.
You got
So it's an 18 with a little flavor. But you, yeah.
it tastes a little bit sweeter.
Sure.
Tastes like teamworking.
Teamworking.
Oh, God. Sorry, that threw me off.
What are they harvesting? And I rolled a 15 on the die, and I'm an android talking to another android-ish cyborg man.
Yeah. Definitely not an android. This is a human. Even to say that, I think is pretty
Debatable.
strong. It would, on a stat sheet, it would say human. It's
Cool,
really,
fine.
yeah. There's a lot of people that would
Borderline
argue
construct.
that. More so than Spice by a good amount. They're probably about 75% construct. But
Jimmy 12 toes.
yeah, close. Very, very close. Very close. Very close.
Damn.
So they say to you, further clarification. There are several Echo units who contain unique pieces of code. Not important to the cult of Oil and Chains, but important to Pleiades Rock and its masters.
There are masters.
There are always masters.
Clerical Guardian, Huletex. I believe an amicable exchange can happen.
So they just turn their head. There's no response to that.
Is 3 days enough for us to do what we need to do and get the fuck out of here?
It will have to be.
And tournament timeline? Looking at my little spreadsheet thing.
We have one more, right? This is the last one.
So
before.
at midnight, now that midnight has
Yeah.
passed, you see that the next match is happening at noon, and it's happening in the jagged shards of frozen nitroglycerin that make up the ice fields.
Ice field.
The Vesk have already fought a match here, and so they have very recent experience with this field. That may or may not have to do with you refusing that initial offer, but that is at noon, which means that you all have about 11 hours until that starts. So yes, absolutely, the tournament will be done.
Okay. And this is
You
our
can
last one.
see at the bottom of this poster now, there is a invitation for the winner to be received by HH.
When does the invitation happen?
No clue. You would imagine at the end of the competition.
Okay. So maybe 2 days.
Maybe, yeah. But 3 days should be enough time.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll be pushing it close if you use all three, for sure.
Right. But like, at a certain point, it doesn't matter if we blow our cover anyway.
Sure.
So, okay. Well, who wants to take watch? And it can't be Hultek. He's
Well, weren't we watching for Hultek?
well, we're kind of watching for like I don't know, evil people or like other bears or
Spice lays down.
What do you know of our interactions with the Carbon Cartel and William the Pleaser?
There are 2 remaining totems that you are not in possession of.
ooh, who has them?
Wait, there's 2 out of 4?
I believe so. Give me 1 second here. Alright, Carbon Cartel.
What's going on with Dan? Is he just hot?
Yeah.
He's gonna vomit.
So, they would say, you received the totem that was held by Red on
Yep.
Aura's Bay. You have fought and vanquished a group of rocket-propelled goblins known as the Gremlins. You have fought a drow mercenary group called Raven's Blood. The only remaining organizations with a vested interest are the Outfit and the Church of Vaults.
Church
As such, no one not holding a Carbon Cartel totem will make an attempt on you, Spice.
Wait, say that in more plain terms.
There are 2 people left. 2 organizations basically left. If they're unaffiliated with those organizations, they won't go after you.
So I'm safe now?
No,
No.
we're just gonna get fucked up by Outfit and Church of
You,
Vaults.
you're safe from the Carbon Cartel members
like
who are
in
here.
general.
Once that ritual is issued, if you don't get one of those totems and you're part of the Carbon Cartel, you can't act on this bounty. So
So I'm safe in this place now.
sure.
As far as we know,
But
we
you
don't.
could lose your totem.
But I thought I only had 2, so I have 3?
Well, Echo has 1.
Yeah.
Now
Boss
I would
has
say
1.
make a sense motive check, Spice.
Okay, because, yeah, all of this is a little bit lost also.
I don't know if this will help.
Sure. Yeah, that's right. 25. 29.
So Spice, if somebody has one of these totems, they can try to claim on you.
Right.
And you're carrying around some of these totems, which means if you and the totems are in the same place, if somebody gets both at once, they can certainly act on you. It's good that you've given at least one of them to Echo, and that Echo kind of, or who has them right now?
There's
So-
one to Echo, one to
and one to
Bubs, and
Bubbles.
Spice has
Okay.
one.
So I also have 1?
So right now, if somebody captures you, technically they're in the clear. Now, probably not a lot of people know that. Nobody can know who has the totems on them unless you're visibly showing them. But
I've hidden all of them. I made them all invisible.
yeah. And so as long as everybody assumes that you've made them invisible and given them to other people, they'll certainly not go after you. But it's just something to keep in mind. If somebody captures one of your totems, they can make an attempt against you.
Okay. So outfit and Church of Vaults are coming. Okay.
And also the bad news bears.
And also the bad news
Oh,
bears.
they're coming for me.
You're making friends here.
They're not after the totems.
No,
Okay.
they're after me.
Right, okay. So,
As was
we're all,
William Blazer.
Yes, gotcha. Okay. Thank you. Got it.
So, are you all resting for the evening?
Yeah.
Okay.
Taking watches.
No.
No watches.
You're not resting?
If they're gonna rest,
No,
I'm just gonna stay up.
Watches. Gibbs is on watches duty and is like, you're gonna wake up at 2 a.m.,
I
right?
don't know about you guys, but I want to heal
Great.
resolve points.
Yeah. So it takes us 10 hours, so everyone gets 8 hours rest. But like we can do this with
Yeah.
enough team workers.
You definitely can. With all the team workers that you have, if you wanted to trust Heltex to take a watch alone,
I'm not going to.
you could just all rest, but no worries. They
I'll
don't-
take a watch if I can get 8 hours of rest.
Yeah, no worries. So
It's just like our total rest as a group becomes 10 hours or
you
whatever.
keep consistent
Okay.
watch.
Yeah.
I would say, Gibbs, for the remainder of your watch, there's only 2 more hours. You do note the alleyway that is outside, it remains almost empty. You get the sense that something has been done to make this a little bit more of a private area. Either fencing was put up, but there's literally no foot traffic anymore.
Nice. Can open nerd the door back?
Yeah, you can. You do. You peek out, you see this bear has not moved. They must be really asleep.
Is he dead? Okay.
Yeah, no check needed. You can smell the beginnings of decomposition.
I send a text
Oh.
to Cold Brew,
Okay.
and I'm like, it's a dead body if you want it. It's
Behind
fair.
you hear a little, and like the clerical guardian turns to you and says, "Please cease sending messages."
I will walk over there in the morning. Do you want to help me carry this guy, or is that not your thing?
He will be gone by the morning.
Buy this.
By scrappers.
Well, yeah, but I wanted my favorite scrap.
The captain will take him. The night goes by without issue, and those of you who want to can roll hit dice or whatever you need to kind
Who's
of bring
hurt?
yourselves back up.
No one's physically hurt because we
I'm
don't
not
take
physically
damage.
hurt, but I want resolve points because I used tons of resolve
Can we
points
just-
during. So I have 1 back, but
Wait, how does healing resolve work?
8 hours rest.
Oh, great.
But you only get 1 per 8-hour rest. Yeah, so it's not great. So I'm gonna go for another one. So if I'm on watch, what I want to do is sit on the stoop of our hangar or whatever it is, and I'm going to light up some cigarettes and watch the ebb and flow of
yeah,
culture
sure.
go by me
You
and
use that
earn that
feature.
resolve point
No
of
problem.
watching the culture.
So you watch the culture from the can-open door of your place, and it's quiet culture. You do see at about 4 in the morning, during your part of the watch, a Yosoki comes around the corner.
Okay.
They kind of stop seeing you. They would sort of wave, and then you can see they take out a digital tape measure, and they begin to like laser this corpse and kind of measure it out, and they disappear. Like 45 minutes goes by, 4 Yosoki come by. They have a little hand truck, and they cart the body off and in the direction of the blood walk.
Nice. Love that.
Spice just watches.
Okay, no problem.
And it's any resolve points for an 8-hour rest. Because otherwise I would have been fucked.
Yeah, it's
like,
not just one.
I
it's
thought it
all
was
of
more
it.
than once.
Yeah.
All resolved.
Okay, sorry, I must have
Yeah.
When you hit the button on Hephaestus,
I knew
it
it
just
was
refreshes
all
everything.
So I was like, there's no way.
Yeah, I like had to
Okay.
Google it because I was like, otherwise I'm
Yeah.
the brokenest build ever.
Yeah, same with me.
Okay, that. Never mind then. But I'm still gonna do that.
Yeah.
And watch
No
this.
worries.
Okay.
You do it. So the day turns over, and at the next day, it is the 26th of April. It is a Sunday, and you all would finish your rests right around 9 a.m. You know that you have just a couple hours until you take the Vescon within the nitroglycerin fields. Is there anything that you're doing to prepare for the day? I would say probably close to 10 o'clock, Shade would get back with news that your ships are repaired.
You might want to build ammo.
I'm gonna build some ammo.
Okay, make an engineer check. What kind of enemy are you building?
That's a good question. I don't have my dear friend Shade helping me, so it's only an 11.
Echo can provide some assistance if you wake them up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I gather a bunch of. I guess I liked the. So ships, right? They don't.
Yeah.
They don't have like mechanical parts to like clog
Some do.
up. The Vesk ships. Do they have any? Or are they just regular
You haven't seen
sleeky?
I mean, a lot of ships have like vents and whatnot for like just off.
Yeah.
So I have the Mystic
Or
Haze
dropping the heat.
ability.
Or dirt
Can
clothes.
I like fill a bunch
I'm
of
assuming it does.
paint cans with toxic whatever?
You could definitely try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to make toxic cloud bomb.
Phenomenal.
Junk cannon junk toxic cloud version.
Yeah, ammonia.
With a check of 11 plus a +4 conditional modifier from Echo, which is not nearly as helpful as you would need it to be, you get to work crafting a dirty bomb
Nice.
in your enclosed hangar. And because it is 9:09
I
and a
dislike you
perfect
saying
place
those
to stop,
things.
as you begin to mix chemicals and suddenly they begin to shift color and a gas begins to fill, that is where we're going to end for the
Is
evening.
anyone getting lightheaded? Echo's gonna sign us off.
Oh,
So thank you for joining us for this session of Mosaic Team 5. I'll turn you over to Echo.
Thank you for watching. You can join us on Sundays at noon. And remember, you are always alone.
We'll see you later. Goodbye.
Are you guys not playing for tomorrow?